Once there lived a woman named Archana. She was working in a company. She had a daughter named Anjali. She was 10 years old and studying in a school. Archana always overthinks about her job, daughter's studies, and future. Because of this, her stress kept on increasing daily. One day she was very worried about her future and went to a nearby cafe named Ronnie's Cafe. There she looked very worried. The cafe owner Ronnie came to her and asked what happened. Archana explained everything about her anxiety and overthinking problem. Ronnie listened to her problems and suggested Archana to meet a monk who helped her to handle the restaurant problems and taught responsibility. Archana went to that monk. Their conversation goes like this.
Master, I am Archana and my problem is that I am very anxious about my future. For example, I am thinking like what will I do if I lose my job? How I will take care of my kid? What if my kid does not study well? What if something happens to my kid? Every day I keep on thinking like this. Could you please tell me how can I solve this?
Archana, you are overthinking everything. The reasons for overthinking are the lack of trust in the higher power above us and the lack of understanding of the life.
But I do prayers every day to God without fail.
I am not talking about God. I am talking about consciousness which is present in each and every one of us. God's used the power of meditation, understand the consciousness, understand its laws, and get spiritual powers. There are many gods and a religion is formed around each god. But consciousness is controlling the God in life.
Really? I do not know all these. So should I trust God or consciousness?
Trusting God is optional, but it is essential to trust the consciousness. When you ask something to God like many people do, you are adding more burden to God. Instead, you can trust consciousness and help yourself, which will reduce the burden to God.
I understand, Master. So what should I do to trust consciousness?
Before trusting consciousness, the first thing you should do is to stop believing whatever your mind says.
But how to do it, Master? When my mind says something, I believe it instantly.
Let me tell some behaviors of the mind. First behavior. Mind always exaggerates fear and desire. Second behavior. Mind always wants to know everything. It does not like when the future is uncertain. It just wants to keep you safe. So it tries to know everything, which is definitely not possible. Third behavior. Mind uses habit and immediately react. So it always leads us to make poor choices and decisions. I suggest you to go home and retrospect whether you have fallen as a trap to any of the mind's behaviors. The more and more you witness mind's behavior, slowly you will start ignoring the mind's voice and stop believing it.
Archana agreed to this, went home and started retrospection. The first point came to her mind was when her daughter went to school for the first time. She was unnecessarily afraid how her daughter would manage herself alone. But her daughter managed herself and some school staffs helped her daughter. When she realized and retrospected this, she understood that the mind exaggerated the fear in this situation. She even started to slowly trust the school staffs. When it comes to desire, she immediately realized that she bought so many unnecessary things in her home. Before buying, always something's exaggerated her desire by tempting her. But after buying, she lost the craze for that object. So she decided not to fall again when something tempted the mind. She now understood the first point, that mind always exaggerates fear and desire. This reduced most of her overthinking problems. For the second point, she recalled an incident after her job interview. After the interview, the company asked her to wait for 2 weeks to publish the results. But her mind made her anxious, and she contacted the company many times within that 2 weeks to get to know the result. She realized that how the mind wanted everything to be known and certain. It made her become anxious about it. But after 2 weeks, she got that job. She understood that mind can't know everything in the life in advance, and overthinking in those 2 weeks gave her unnecessary stress and also wasted a lot of time. For the third point, she knew very well that she was a reactor and not a responder. She realized all these were mind's behavior and her mind was controlling her life so far. The next day, she came to the monk and conveyed everything. Their conversation goes like this.
Master, now I have understood how my mind is ruining my life. Hereafter I will slowly stop believing whatever my mind tells. This itself is giving me some relief. Now please tell me, how can I start trusting consciousness?
Archana, you need to have a spiritual attitude to trust consciousness. The purpose of life is to increase our consciousness level by being mindful and developing virtues. Take a look at this consciousness level image. We need to slowly increase our consciousness level from shame to enlightenment.
Master, so should I focus only on mindfulness and virtues? I should not think about money and materialism?
Without compromising mindfulness and virtues, you can do anything in your life.
Understood, Master. But how will I gain trust in consciousness if I follow mindfulness and virtues?
When you practice more and more mindfulness, consciousness helps you through intuition to handle life's problems and challenges.
So, if consciousness helps me through intuition, will I always be successful?
Each and every consciousness level is associated with both success and failures. You can't discard anyone. The purpose of intuition is to give the right set of experiences, learnings, and failures so that you will end up in increasing your consciousness level and success comes eventually. Worrying about the failure is of no use. You will get less failures when you follow intuition.
I understand, Master. But it is difficult for me to accept that I am going to get failure even after following mindfulness, virtues, and intuition.
Archana, if you take a look at the consciousness level, level 350 is exclusively meant for acceptance. Acceptance of failures, difficulties, and other people as they are. So using courage and willingness, you should give your best in any task and accept whatever the result consciousness is giving you back. When you are able to reason and understand that consciousness gives you something meaningful for your growth, you will reach level 400. So acceptance and reason is also important in life.
I totally understand, Master. Thank you for sharing the knowledge.
Now I suggest you to go home and retrospect whether you have used intuition and acceptance in your life so far.
Archana agreed and went back home and started retrospection. Archana recalled that during her job interview, she was asked many questions, out of which she did not know the answers for some questions. Yet she somehow responded with the right answers. She was not able to find out how she answered them right. She understood that it was her intuition helping her. Regarding acceptance, she recalled that she tried her best to get a place in one of the best schools for her daughter, but it did not happen. Initially, she got disappointed. Then she sent her daughter to the nearby school. Later she realized that the nearby school was better than the other school. She now realized the meaning why she did not get the place in that old school. The next day, she went to see the monk and conveyed everything. Their conversation goes like this.
Master, I feel more confident now after understanding about life purpose, consciousness, intuition, and acceptance. Thank you for this. Now my only concern is how can I teach all this to my daughter and make her follow this path?
Archana, you can't control anyone other than yourself in this life. Your daughter is not a baby anymore. She is a kid now. She has to live her own life using her strengths and talents. She has to learn her own lessons by going through different experiences. So don't focus on anyone else in your life. Focus only on your thoughts, actions, speech, attitude, choices, and decisions.
Master, but I am her mother, and is it not my duty to control her?
Your duty is to share her the knowledge without any expectations. If you keep on controlling her, she will not grow, and also again you will run into overthinking mode. Don't think that she is your daughter. Spiritually speaking, she is your fellow passenger in the journey of life. You have all the rights to love her and share her the knowledge, but you do not have any rights to control her and expect something back from her. Still, if you try to control her, then you are blocking her growth of consciousness. Always keep in mind that the things and the people around you may change at any time, evolve at any time, change the place at any time, cease to exist at any time. So don't try to control and be emotionally dependent on them. Consciousness has different plans for them based on their consciousness level. As long as they are around you, love them, Help them when needed and be grateful to the consciousness for their presence in your life. Being grateful increases the chances of their presence in your life. Let go of your control of people and the things around you. Leave them to the plan of consciousness. Practice detachment and focus only on your growth and consciousness level.
Master, it looks really complicated to practice let go and detachment. However, I will slowly try. But I can understand a bit that so far I have tried to control the people and things around me and was overthinking about how to control them.
I understand that it is difficult to practice, but with practice, you can learn anything. Spiritually speaking, you are interacting with consciousness in your everyday life through people and life's challenges. Remember, Archana, whether you like it or not, consciousness keeps on teaching you life lessons through external events and other persons to make you grow in your consciousness level. Overthinking about people and things which you cannot control is not an intelligent idea. An intelligent person understands the reality of life and accordingly change his or her attitude towards life.
Archana thanked the master and said that it was a life-changing advice. She started thinking only about what was in her control. This made her to slowly came out of overthinking mode and started enjoying her growth in consciousness level. Since she understood consciousness has different plan for every person, she understood that change is inevitable and started loving and enjoying other people's presence as long as they are in her life. These are some books to read which reduces fear and anxiety, embraces intuition and detachment to live the best life you can live. Lesson summary. Overthinking can be reduced by witnessing the mind's behaviors and understand mostly it exaggerates. Practice mindfulness and virtues which lead to intuitive life. This increases our trust in consciousness. Give your best in any task. Consciousness knows what you need. So accept whatever the outcome is. Everything happens for a reason. You should be good enough to find it out. Trying to control and expecting from others is like interfering in the plan of consciousness. Practice detachment and let go. Focus only on yourself. Love other persons and objects and help them. Be grateful for their presence in your life. Gratefulness increases their duration of presence in your life. Thank you.